Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as Germany, episode number 80. And I have a little prepared statement I'm going to try to read for the little start, just my own little spiel on how this battle's, why it is important, what's going on. I first want to start off by saying that there should be below in the comment section pinned a link to the next game that we're going to play as, which will be the Japanese. So you can... I'm sure this episode's very delayed getting out. It's already been a few days, several days since the last recording, and it'll be several more while I get all these things processed. But I should have created a new Google form for the Imperial Japanese Navy. That's right, so our next series will be on Japan, at least the next one that I receive user submissions for. And I always like to reward the people who have been so loyal as to make it this far into the series. So, you who have made it this far, please submit your name. They usually appear, they're supposed to appear in the order that they're submitted. And that is per, category as well. So if person 10 who submits a battleship and person 14 submits a light cruiser, and the light cruiser's only had one person in it, that light cruiser person will be first before the battleship. Unless if they're both that early, they'll probably both be picked, in the first wave. But anyway, you get the point, right? So you've seen through this battle that light cruisers, we had a pretty good job. I think we went through most of them. We actually got through a lot of the battleships. You kind of figured it out for yourselves, right? Carriers, extremely high demand. I don't think we'll get through many carrier names next time. Hopefully, as Japan, I can do more of a carrier-focused. Not fighting in Northern Europe, I think that makes a little bit more sense. Fighting in Northern Europe, not so much. For the exact historical reasons. Also, like Italy and the Mediterranean, probably not going to be carrier-heavy a nation, considering the state of affairs in the Mediterranean with air bases everywhere. We'll see. Also, I'll be on. So the next series is going to be the collaborative with THG, XTRG. That's going to start very soon. We're actually already talking about when the first turn is, etc. I think THG is starting. I didn't really get any feedback about who should go first, me or THG. We kind of decided it would be one of us, but I'm actually pretty happy he'll go first to give me a small break. Now, that all said, let's actually get to the recording side of this. So this is I wrote a little bit. I didn't finish writing it, but I don't have enough time. I have no time lately, which is part of the reason why this is getting out so late. I've been very busy at work, working weekends even, so I haven't had time to do this. But I wanted to do a little bit of a role play for the beginning. Here's Germany. We're going to pretend this is what Germany looked like during this time, even though, I think this is modern day, so, you have to use your imagination. I don't think that some of these nations did not exist during our playthrough, but we'll just wing it anyway. On the morning of September 29th, 1946, as the sun neared its peak in the sky, so too the drama and climax of the German Civil War neared its peak. At stake, the free flow of goods into Germany. Various nations had pledged themselves to this side or the other. France, the United States, and Great Britain were leaning towards the pro-democratic reformist movement, henceforth the Republicans, for the German Republic. Italy immediately backed the autocratic loyalist forces to the emperor, henceforth the Loyalists. In a critical move that forced the tensions on the high seas, Russia threw her support behind a strong autocratic Germany, so the Loyalists, for reasons debated by the scholars to this day. I actually couldn't remember if Russia, I think are they in this socialist? I don't know. Or communist? The Swiss, Belgian, and Dutch nations proclaimed absolute neutrality. They would send observers to stop war crimes and volunteer aid to civilians in desperate need. As such, the geography played a pivotal role in the import of goods. The upstart Republicans, who had manpower, did not start with much control from the army, and therefore they didn't have the armories and the military supplies and the weapons. So it was important to receive these things from the sea. The only side that they would receive this from is France, but this is a small border. And, so I'm going away from my script now. I don't have much else to say on the script. But basically, we can imagine that with Italy controlling the south, I don't know where Austria-Hungary sits in this. We'll assume that they are, obviously, they are just supporting the autocratic emperor loyalist movement. And the Russian one is the important one that this seals off this entire import of goods to Republican forces in the south and the east. So what this leaves, and I think this nicely plays into the story that we're building for ourselves here, is almost the entire seaboard of Germany is open. And that's the area where the Republicans could receive military supplies from. There's a very small area where France can send supplies, but we can even imagine that maybe, knowing this, the Loyalist forces quickly secured the border. So I like to imagine this area is very pro-Republican. Maybe even Berlin has been taken. The emperor is in hiding down in, who knows, towards the Austro-Hungarian border. I like to think of that because Hitler's from that area, if I'm not mistaken. So we like to kind of play up that role, even though I think Austria was not particularly pro-Hitler, or not necessarily any more so than Germany. Anyway, I want to stay away from the political dual stuff, but I thought that was a nice setup. And the reason, therefore, that this is important is if the Republican forces are vanquished in battle on the seas, essentially the Republicans will be blockaded into submission. So this is why I'm trying to build this up as the pivotal battle. That we already had some roleplay that these forces were going to seek shelter in Spain from... Spain is also definitely supporting the Loyalists. And we can even think that just because this is kind of how it goes, right? That the autocratic nations like Italy, Austria, Hungary, even Spain, are a little bit more aggressive with their support. We have volunteers coming from the democratic nations, surely, but in the same way that actually how it happened in Spain, where most of... I'm not sure that's a great analogy just because the Republican Spains were actually pretty much communist, so you can think that maybe not a lot of democracies wanted to support the Reds. But you get the idea that if you had all things even between two nations supporting two different sides, the autocratic powers are probably going to push the limits of what a government should do more than the Democrats. So we're imagining that's happening here, and maybe even that they've bolstered or helped in the acquisition of additional navy. So this meeting of the two fleets is important because if the Republicans lose this, then they are susceptible to just submission by blockade. And if they can keep those venues open, it requires the army to also do some work, but we're assuming that with the leadership of, who do we have? Rommel and stuff like that. We have a good military leadership, some clever guys who are going to hold it together. I'm sure it'll be a bloody affair, but we can kind of assume, or I'd like to assume, that the reformists, the Republicans, have the upper hand in the same kind of way that in the American Civil War, the Union had a strong upper hand. However, the problem is kind of in the reverse situation that the Republicans don't have the supplies to really fight, and they need those supplies to be imported. So kind of in the similar analogy that the Confederates, like the reverse analogy, we're almost like the Confederates with the Union capabilities. Like we have the bigger army, we don't have the supplies though. And the Confederates in the United States Civil War, they really needed to be trading with Europe for money, for stuff. And we can think of us, the Republicans, in that same boat. Okay, so enough. Without further ado, let's get into it. We want to start off by, of course, doing a scouting mission, and I think that we'll put a maximum cap. We know that there are 2 carriers out there. It's kind of interesting. Both sides would know the composition of the other. We will do 1 search. I don't think the 2 search phase, which 2-phase search, I am assuming is just 2-phase. Is it? You know what? Maybe 2-phase search is a 1 shift over and back. I don't know. We'll do the 2-phase search because I don't have a great reason to not do it. I'm pretty convinced that they'll be in a cone somewhere south of us, based on our intelligence, of course, or really our human intelligence probably is more like it. Do something like that, and let's go 5 like that. I like that better. And then 2, 4. We'll probably cut this down. That looks about right. That's a good cone in front of us. So I assume that we'll find them in this area. I wish I could actually choose to tighten or whatever. But we can reduce this a lot. Probably 140 is sufficient. I'll do 150 just to be safe. So we'll hit OK on that, and we'll be good to go. I don't know what light cruisers we have, we're going to be probably detecting scouts from our own people very soon. But I like this. It's cool that this is fought over here because in this role-played example of the the Republican forces controlling most of the northern seaboard, that also means that the Loyalist forces wouldn't want to fight over there because they would be just antagonized by aircraft. So it's kind of cool that we ended up fighting over here. I mean, I did not choose the battle location, but I think it works. Okay, so that said, I think we're good to go. Do you want to... Yeah, go ahead and stop them to launch float planes. Because why not? Interesting division of forces, though, where we have our light... Oh, God. Okay, so it's happening very quickly. These guys are, unfortunately... because they have to go this way to turn into the wind. So let's get these guys up to squad max right away. Oh. Oh, this is our new... We haven't even used this class yet, the Stolz de Kaisers. A very ironic class name to be using against the Kaiser. Get everyone up to squad max, including our Blukers, because I think that it's going to be a matter of saving our carriers. In fact, I might even try to override manually their orders to launch. I am an idiot, by the way. I forgot to actually get them preparing stuff. So, anything that is not a fighter should just be preparing to launch. Because I assume it's just going to be forget any kind of escorts. We're just going to launch and pray for the best. We can definitely get these guys on heavy loads. And because we're fighting ourselves, it's not like we're going to have an advantage in fighters or not, whatever. It's obviously that we're just going to have exactly the same. We'll ready these guys. Okay, you have 92 torpedoes remaining. I think that that's still done. We'll check on it in a minute. So yeah, we'll get these guys to head north. Obviously, we don't need the recon anymore, but let's actually bring... I'm going to manually control these groups because we've already had contact, so we need to probably deploy a smoke screen and get going. Going to deploy this smoke screen, go up to squad max. We already are. This is a Slichting class, so she's not in good shape. She might even sacrifice herself for the good of everyone. Yeah, you guys are turning good. You guys are protecting good. I don't want to send in the destroyers quite yet. So let's bring these, the Valkyries. It's nice that I have all these divisions in exactly their appropriate area. And I know that we're going to launch to the west. We're going to head west to launch. So I actually want to start heading west already so that when I head west, I'm heading further away from the enemy. Okay. Torturpitz Jr. is very nervous about this, as you can imagine. What's the right time to launch your group when, you know, they're right on top of you? Because the sooner you get it up, the sooner that you can start paying dividends on ships. And the later you launch, it might be already too late. They might have sank a carrier. You might lose so many fighters, or that one crucial battleship, which was going to make the difference, is now sunk. Lots of different ways of viewing this. Slichting is actually joined by, it looks like, the Ross Weisse. Well, good luck to them both. Deploy smoke for now until our battleships assume the position. So this is really going to be more about the battleships than the carriers, based on the fact that we actually need to get out of the way. And probably they're launching right now. It's just very unfortunate that our carriers were leading the way. I don't think that's a formation that any sane person would choose. I don't know how to even roleplay that. I guess, because Torturpitz would never be so stupid as to do that. I kind of want to pretend that maybe we were caught from behind. It doesn't even make sense. How would you get caught from behind? You would know. You would have your aircraft up. I don't know. If you can think of a very clever reason why, an intelligent reason why, maybe this is a trap. Maybe they know that we are going to be superior in terms of numbers, so we try to expose our carriers. It's like a feint. I don't know. It's you know, choose your own adventure. What's our game plan here? Maybe that's a somewhat believable one. Alright, I think we're already ready. We're not actually ready, unfortunately, but you can see these two more, which we'll get to ready up as well. Okay, so we have 25, 29, 28, and 20. And note that they do have superior battleships. I think it's exactly even, but superior numbers for them. So this is going to be brutal, and it's a little bit scary. In fact, now that the trap has been sprung, what I want to do is slow everyone down just a smidgen. And the wind side is to our west. We prefer the west. We're going to start our shift to the west, which is going to be kind of convenient because our slowest ships, which we're going to slow down just to 19, just to prevent them from burning out their engines too quickly. What we want to do is start fielding the line over here. So you guys are going to start heading this way, and we'll see how that goes. And the minute we have those guys prepared, we'll be launching. Actually, this is kind of the best situation where they're giving us time. We're going to be very tightly packed. I don't think we're going to have any problems defending against aircraft. I mean, these are my aircraft, so they're going to be a tough pain in the butt. Get the Valkyries up so they can speed over, help support. Let's get you guys up to 26 or so. I'm going to steal a group. Which group do I want? What is you guys are at 16, you guys are at 21, you guys are at 15. So the Teutoburger Valds are going to be the first to deploy against the enemy, so we're going to keep them over here. Lots of changes have happened, by the way, in the recent patches. I was kind of looking over the patch notes. I think this next series is going to be fun with XTRG and everyone. THG. Okay, are you guys ready yet? It's ready. The bombers are ready, Captain. Prepare to launch. Oh, we got a group of fighters in there. That's fine. I assume that not everyone's actually ready, but here we go. We're not coordinating, which might have been a mistake, but at the same time, might not be. So as soon as these guys go in there, I want to pounce. Very important. By the way, we don't... Yeah, line ahead. Was that line ahead? I barely looked. Yeah, so let's get to line ahead. Now, I'm trying to stay all bundled up because I'm fearing any moment that we will have this big wave of incoming bombers. I'm expecting it, in fact. So I want to keep everyone tight, very tightly packed. Which means that we might have to all slow down a little bit. Yeah, well, we'll be pretty tightly packed anyway, but at least we're next to the Stoschel swine. That whole group is going to be protecting us nicely. Okay, let's start these carriers this way. Oh, they stopped for float plane launch. Okay, don't do that anymore, but whatever. That's fair enough. So what's the contact reports? 2 CVs. Yeah, it's exact. I mean, we already know what's there, so it's not going to be a surprise to us. One of those is a heavy carrier. One of them is a not a light carrier, but a light heavy carrier. However you want to, however the best way to report that is. Alright, we're going to slow down because I actually prefer us to be grouped together with tons of anti-aircraft fire for the first wave until they get in here. If they're not coming in here, I'm just going to wait. So we know that they're there. They know we're here. Everybody knows everything, right? There's no surprises. I might even send the Valkyries over. Well, they're actually pretty good heavy hitters. I might send the Stoschel swine actually over to help out with my carriers because they're not going to be very good against anything which is not aircraft. Now, right now, I don't think I'll do that. I'm going to rely on the cap a little bit at least. And there's a couple destroyers over there. Mostly, it's just important for the very first wave. I hope I led the group enough, by the way, with my air attack. Okay, let's... I prefer these guys in the rear, believe it or not, because they're so quick they can easily react to any situation, so... And likewise, these guys. So it's going to be a big... I mean, we know this is like a perfectly balanced fight, so we have to be a bit careful about you know, there's a certain snowball effect in these fights. Waiting as the launch. We're crewed up in Operation Tactical Blob. I think I'll get these guys out to the north a little bit more. Just close enough to still provide fire, but not close enough that... I mean, I hope they aren't, like, interfering with... You guys actually go ahead and scout. Oh, your max speed is 24. Oh, heavens, I forgot about that. Radar contact. Okay, we know where they are. And our fighters are airborne already. Okay, we're good to go. Here we go. So, 8 friendly cap attack. Wow. Oh, God. So the incoming escorts are taking a lot of damage. We shot down 2. We damaged 2. Escorts. Okay, so they are escorts. Okay, so this is it. This is it. There's the unknown ship, so we need to push further west. You guys especially. Where's the... Okay, you guys do not push further west. Just stay here for the moment. Alright, friendly shoots down. So these new escorts must be very... they're, I would say, selfishly at least, I mean egotistically, I would say that they're suffering from the fact that they were not trained by our people. These are kind of... I even would like to imagine this as they're somewhat amateur pilots, since most of the Naval Aviation Force obviously was loyal to Torturpits. Very cool that this is happening. I don't know why, actually. To me, it should be... Either this indicates that escorts are much more vulnerable than cap, or maybe it's the fact that we have more cap up. I don't know. I don't know why we're doing... like, they aren't shooting down or even damaging a single plane. We're just destroying them. Actually, I frankly don't think it makes sense. But we can roleplay a situation that it does, just the game doesn't know that situation. So why is it happening? I don't know. Don't ask me, I don't know. Okay. Oh, no, you guys keep going this way. Oh! CV! Oh, we located their carriers early! Okay, well this is actually good. Well, of course it's good. Quite good. We have... Our guys are approaching... We already are hitting the carrier with the 16-inch shells. Now, it's kind of like a roleplay element. I don't want to... If I get these ships which are stuck in the water and not sinking, I want to not kill them, because we want to roleplay maybe trying to pull these ships in, pull the people off. Even if we can save the carrier, if we do enough damage that she kind of like surrenders, that she's, you know, not... I don't know if that's even a realistic way of viewing it. Probably you don't do that. I knew a prison guard one time, and he always told me that if you're... I mean, about gun control stuff, he was saying, you never raise a weapon at somebody that you're not willing to kill. Don't shoot to maim. You know, it's a kind of a bad philosophy, because if they have a gun, they don't know your intent, and they're going to assume you're shooting to kill, so they will shoot to kill. So, in kind of this game theory, you shouldn't use a gun unless your intent okay with killing someone. I don't know, that's definitely a discussion for a different time, but what I'm trying to say is we probably wouldn't leave a carrier up and running, because even if they have a little bit of fight left, they're capable of killing us, and that's not good. So how is this group doing, by the way? Do we have any other things we can launch? We do have this group, and I think, why not launch immediately? In fact, we can make sure that their carriers are out, but I'm actually not worried about their carriers since we already got them, right? We already saw where they are. We're already landing hits even, which is remarkable. A lot of aircraft approaching. Combined 170. That is pretty good. It's going to cause a lot of disruption. I'm not sure how much we're going to get. So 5 torpedo bombers are attacking what is supposed to be another carrier. What is it that we have here then? Not a carrier. I mean, this carrier report looks like carrier and light carrier, which could be the Graf Zeppelin and the Norvi, the Nordrhein-Westfalen. But I don't know if we're engaging that one. This must be a light carrier then, or light cruiser. Because I think... I have no idea. Well, we'll let them do their damage. We're kind of getting a peek with the Schlichting, which I'm willing to risk. Yeah, we're losing some aircraft. There's no two ways about it. And a lot of... Okay, there's our first torpedo hit. But I was just about to say, a lot of ships which are probably avoiding damage just because they're so tightly packed, so nicely packed that it's hard to get any hits on. We're doing a really good job here staying in our tactical blob. It's actually, pretty... I guess you can see exactly what is going on, though. It's not exactly a tactical blob. There is some structure to it, believe it or not. Yeah, well, I don't know what these are, but they're taking some hits. So that's good. More planes approaching ships. Okay, we should be moving in, but since we already didn't, we might have lost our opportunity to. Like, I mean in the chaos of our ships actually attacking. We might have to wait for a second run. And I don't mind if this is not a completely decisive victory. All we actually need to do in this case, I'm not worried about winning a war, right? This is roleplay, so we can be actually right about it. We can do the, strategically real-life correct thing instead of having to win the game. Because it's roleplay, right? So what I would say the best thing to do is just force this navy to be small enough that it can't hinder our possibility of resupplying. So basically don't allow them to maintain a big enough fleet to threaten ours. And if that's the case, if we destroy, even 6 battleships and nothing else, then, we'll have to deal with the other things, but it would be nice to get the carriers too, huh? A lot of aircraft are approaching and being destroyed, so that's interesting. We're not seeing a whole lot of stuff going on. As far as... Ooh, Rhineland class. Where's the Rhineland class? Oh, we actually are hitting their carrier. Well, our carrier. That's the Norvi. It's really funny to see her on the other side of things. Does she actually... I never got rid of the... What? I got rid of the 3-inch guns. I think they're using 5-inch guns. So that report is not accurate. But it's good that we're landing hits on her. So this is actually pretty cool. We're able to quickly eliminate the air group. And that's hugely important, especially if we get rid of the Norvi. And if they only have the Graf Zeppelin, obviously the Graf Zeppelin can be equipped. They could. If I were them, I would just load her up with tons of fighters and keep her up as like a cap to support their battleships. Interesting. I don't know exactly how well that would still work against the number of aircraft that we can deploy from 3 carriers, but just as like a possible solution in their problem. Yeah, so we're hitting this Rhineland. We already hit her several times. She's on fire. Probably she's not going to be able to operate aircraft at this point anyway. Huge victory. And they haven't committed their forces yet, which is interesting, because I suppose as soon as we are able to eliminate this Rhineland, and you know what, I have been kind of leery about forcing them to get... I wanted to keep my aircraft together, my battleships together, but I think if we don't go now, there's no better time to go. So we're going to get our battleship up and let her get her legs under her and get going. So she's going to break off from the main formation, knowing that her speed is, well, she's the fastest battleship we have. And if it's the fastest battleship we have, it's the fastest battleship they have. In that kind of cool, way of viewing it, because we have the same ships. So it's truly a fair fight. But I'm going to leave the Kaiser Penguins with this little group. You guys can go down to 20. Bring it in a little bit. You guys as well can go down to 20-ish. And you guys can go down to 20 as well. So that group is going to head off towards these guys. Oh, I mean, they're turning towards. That was a huge mistake. I don't know why they're doing that. Yeah, now even our light cruisers are landing hits. A little bit nervous about the fact that our carriers are now kind of on their own, but we can always spin back around, head north and towards those guys. We took the wind advantage. Not a huge deal, by the way, at 1945, but it's still something, I think. And by the way, wind advantage is, I'm 100% wrong. It's the exact opposite. We put ourselves in the wind disadvantage. But technically, the wind is behind us. We can launch our shells further. I don't know if that's really a thing or not, but we're landing good shells on target. I'm assuming the Rhineland's already inoperable. And what I can do with her inoperable, the Graf Zeppelin probably doesn't have the capability of actually bringing to bear enough against my Schlichting and Rossweisse. I can actually just leave a a cruiser group. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about it. I don't know if the Schlichting will be able to catch up. She'll be able to catch up to that, and she'll just be able to chase the Graf Zeppelin away. So I think at this point we really would like our aircraft to start to prepare to redeploy. Yeah, so let's do that. The ones that have enough at least. So these three. We'll get them ready for a new load and prepare to launch again. Obviously we did very little. Oh, okay, well, good. The stuff is still happening. That's good. Yeah, so the idea here is let the light cruisers go after that. We can pull away. I'm sure this Rhineland, even though she's not sinking, and again, we kind of don't want to sink her from this role-playing standpoint, but okay, so let's turn towards this foe, the big body, and prepare to engage. So we're going to do our big turnaround and push towards the enemy now. The Rhineland just getting pelted. She's obviously not in a good way. She might even be... Nope, she's not actually sunk yet, which is good. I kind of want to see that. She's obviously not going to be able to do any more as far as launching goes. So I might as well even tell everyone to stop firing for 10 minutes, at least all my big ships. I don't want them to fire for 10 minutes. Preserve that ammunition because we will definitely need it. Okay, good. Only our Schlichtings are firing. So good. We'll just move north, hopefully out of range of those. And then I will sort out our formation a little bit more. This might end up being, I mean, I'm looking at the time and almost surely this is going to end up being a two-parter, which is, I mean, that makes sense, right? Yeah, so this is perfect. Our Schlichtings, which, aren't going to be very good keeping up with our main forces. Kind of, you think the same thing about the Arminius, the Blücher class, but... And there's the Graf Zeppelin. I just want to be reminded how many aircraft she has. No, I don't know. But she does have the 5-inch guns. So she's kind of a match for the two. Nah, I mean, by herself, she's not. And main thing is, although she's faster, I think. No, she's not. Awesome. Our Schlichting can actually catch up to her. And all we need to do is, even if we're the same speed or even a knot slower, we just need to keep her from turning to the west. Or make her pay for turning to the west. So those are the things we can do. And I want the Kaiser Penguin on the inside, frankly, because these are more glass cannons, my other classes. Okay, so we're not going to launch torpedoes. I'm going to hold fire on the torpedoes. I know that we could actually sink her completely, but okay, let's just, no, I don't need to do it. I was going to say I'm going to do this, but let's pretend I don't actually do it. I was going to launch torpedoes, but let's not actually do it because I'm going to just play the game that I think she's not going to sink, but she'll be in recovery until the war is over. Or she might actually sink, but hopefully we can roleplay at least after the end of the battle, pulling off ships and stuff like that. Okay, so they shot down our recon. That's pretty acceptable, pretty understandable. Get these guys to start moving towards our... okay, so this is it. This is the counter wave. A bit surprising that they even have a counter wave, frankly, but... Okay, here we go. 262, fantastic. So we got basically everyone, I think, on that. That's a nice high number, which is what I wanted to see. The Valkyries should move this way, Satchel Swines this way. You guys, my glass cannons, but everyone, I guess you guys can step up to 21. Have these guys turn in a little bit more. Yeah. We opened up fire again. I think I may give another 10 minutes not to waste that precious ammunition. Okay, you're on hold. You're on hold, and you guys are actually out of range, so I won't put you guys on. So, and you guys actually should slow back down now that we're not dedicating you to the north. I mean to the south. Good. Very good. Yes, I'm very happy with this. Okay, we're going to push east now. See what we find. Okay, so hopefully these guys switch their targets now. I mean, I don't want to give them the mandatory orders, but hopefully a little bit. Okay, more enemy aircraft are approaching. So, dive bombers. No. Fighters? Interesting. I'm not too worried about that, actually. Now, I mean, they can carry a big bomb load, too. I should probably get mine up. Ah! Speaking of, boy, they got lucky. Bomb torpedo. Okay, torpedo hit. It's considered. Man, that's really lucky. They got... Good lord. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know what kind of damage we did to them, but that's some really good damage they've already done to us. Reminds me that we should be preparing another load for launch. And at this point, I want to decrease my cap size. I don't think we'll be needing much. I'm going to go down to even medium. I'm assuming that this is the last that they're going to be able to throw at us, considering we have both of their carriers in sight. The Norvey's not going to be launching anything ever again. At least not for the Empire. And it doesn't look like the Graf Zeppelin's going to have a chance anyway. So, I mean either. So, we'll just hopefully get to that. Okay, get these guys. And look, we're going to steal... Yeah, I think we're going to steal another group. You know what? We're going to go crazy. We're making a command decision that with the 2 carriers down, both destroyers are going to pull off their escort duty, which is just insane. But they're needed, right? Limited flooding. That's not what I wanted to see. Oh, okay, her flooding's at 0, so whatever it was, it's fine now. They're evading still. I'm surprised that, you know, they got so many hits in. Alright, we're hitting the Graf Zeppelin now. That should be the end for her. And honestly, we really did lose contact with the enemy. So it'd be interesting to see how they're doing. I really have no idea. What the heck? Not what I wanted. I have no idea how they're doing. They might be in perfect shape and just pulling back for no reason? I doubt it. How's our group going? Okay, so again, I think we should put these guys, by the way, on naval strike. Yeah, so even the fighters should start collecting as naval strikers. Other than that, you're unready, you're unready, you're unready, 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 unready. So get all these guys to prepare for another strike. We'll do a coordinated one. I think it'll be more effective. So Zug is saying that she can't do that. Oh, okay. So it gave me this error, which means it probably was working. These guys are going full tilt over here. I love it. Probably need to use our destroyers for scouting. We'll probably have to fan out into a search formation. By the way. Oh, wait. We sighted. There we go. There they are. Okay, so we have something. And over here, unfortunately, our ships are going to have to slow down to 10 knots to recover those airplanes. So, well, I mean, the good news is the Graf Zeppelin's going to have to do some weird stuff herself. Okay, there's an unknown contact. I think we're going to push straight for now. We're mostly forward gun firing anyway. So I think that's going to be the best thing to do. So once we recover those the aircraft, it's going to take a while, unfortunately, come to a complete stop on the Slichting. But the good news is that after that's done, we got them in both sides. After that's done, we shouldn't have anything else to worry about. We just pursue. And we are faster. Okay, we're definitely getting the whole fleet down there. So just prepare our battle line up here. Again, we're going to kind of... Oh no, the Kaiser Pendant. We want these guys down here. This group to the north. This group also kind of to the north. You guys actually have the best armor. So even though you've already taken some hits, you guys also have the most powerful guns. I don't know. It's a tough call. I think we will still hide the Feuerdrache class. And it'd be... I mean, any advantage we have, they have. So, yeah, this is just such a funny battle. Our ships are identical, so it's just... You can't, like, take advantage of range or anything. You just gotta fight. Just go in and get it done. So probably the best thing for us to do will be to drive into their lines, because then we can cause the most chaos and hopefully react better than the AI. Or Torturbits. With his father's training, this is really his coming of age, right? I mean, his first coming of age was using the aircraft, but now he has to control the Navy. So it's a kind of exciting... There's a lot of little stories going on here. Oh, and we're definitely taking fire. Now, I don't think that this... I mean, these guys still have 9 16-inch guns. Maybe I should have been hiding them a little bit more. I want my Kaiser Penguin and the... oh, God, this is tough. We're down on battleships, too, so... Carriers really are going to be needed to win this one. We might have to pull back a little bit more. So, Naval Strike. Let's get these guys to Naval Strike as well. Just want to start... You know what? I think that at this point we'll even go down to light cap. I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not, but hopefully if it is something which is constantly updating, we will have a lot of fighters available for our own bomb and torpedoes or whatever they're called. Yeah, good. Kaiser Penguin. That's definitely who I want leading the charge. This looks good. To get you guys a little bit further north. You guys still have good armor, so I'm going to put you in the front after all. Okay, a turret hit on the Arminius. She's got a turret disabled. Boy, this is going to be a heck of a fight. Oh my gosh, they are engaging. Woof. So, crazy times. I guess anybody who's not ready should get ready. 2. I don't think I'll launch the 2. So we'll get you guys ready as well. Okay, let's get these guys to speed up, to deploy to the front. Yeah, you guys are wanted in the front, so let's get you guys up to a higher speed. You guys go to squad max. This is the time when your speed is going to matter. And okay, I think this is okay. Oh man. Oh boy. We're aiming at the wrong thing. So here's their line. Oh man, Arminius is just getting... She's having a hard time of it. Pull off. Pull off. We might even just directly tell her to detach. Yeah. She's not going to be able to make the speed we want. She's actually still making 20. Huh. Okay. We'll keep her there for a moment. Get the Sloch skiff to take her place. And most importantly, the Kaiser Penguin needs to be moving their way to the front. You guys can stay behind the front line, and you guys need to move to the front as well. So you guys move up to 23. And your 24 should be more directed this way. Get the Valkyries a little bit closer. And again, we're waiting for the destroyers to arrive on scene as well. We made maybe a tactical blunder in holding them back. Ah, now Sloch skiff's time. Man, we just are not having our way at the very start of this. And they're forming up nicely. We're hitting destroyers instead of, you know, useful things. Well, hey, that destroyer, we smoked it with 2 17-inch guns. Good luck. Good luck to that destroyer. If it is indeed a destroyer, it might be a false sighting. Celestial Swine, you guys just stay out of here. I mean, basically the Celestial Swine might even be a better candidate for pursuing the Graf Zeppelin than these two. But we already made up our minds, so... Yeah. Okay, well, we just keep going. Now we'll get you guys to turn. Kaiser Penguin now taking hits. We are not off to a good start. So this is going to be a tough one. We're going to need air power to win us the day, which was never in doubt. It was always something that we wanted. Alright, let's coordinate this attack. And we want to launch over here. We're heading north right now, so we'll just aim a little bit north. Launch strike. 4:33. Technically 3 hours away. I don't understand why it's going to take them 3 hours to do that, but we're going to call this video to a close here. So it's a real nail biter. I would say that we are behind in terms of... Oh, we finally did something, thank God. We're definitely behind in terms of damage so far. They've landed a lot of hits. We've landed very few, if any. Oh man, the Stoles is taking damage too, man. Jeez. I mean, her turret's disabled. We really could use those. We might have to we might have to rethink this strategy altogether. Okay, so we see there's... Valkyries are going to go engage the Slicktings. We can try to eliminate them. Just try to do a rock, paper, scissors type engagement. When we see things that are weak, we engage, but we're probably going to end up pulling back. But for now, I'm going to wrap this video up. We'll see you back for episode 81. Possibly, yet again, I'm going to say, maybe the concluding video. So until the next one, thanks for watching, and take care.